All right, we should be live now. What is up, everyone? How's everyone doing? Do y'all hear the background music? Let me know if the background music's playing. Drewcifer became a channel member. Has it been a month already since Drew became a channel member and it renewed? We're getting quite a bit of renewals coming up here, and then I gotta play some stuff. Oh my goodness, all these renewals, and then I gotta play all the ones that played throughout the week since last stream. No music. Okay, let me see if I can fix that. Audio settings. No music. Okay, how about now? So when I turn this up, nobody hears that, right? Yeah, so the music gets messed up because I use OBS to record stuff for like when I make videos as well. So I have to do multi-track stuff. I have to separate tracks 1 and 2. And for some reason, the multi-track stuff does not work well on stream. Like, it just all has to be playing at the same time, but... Okay, perfect. Yeah, so the music is pretty quiet. So it is set to like a pretty low level because it's not supposed to be that loud. It's not supposed to overpower me, but I just want to make sure it is something's playing in the background, slightly so. Okay, so hope everyone is doing well. Man, we got a lot of people in pre-chat already, so let's see who we got. We got C-Nut Pizza. How do I feel about the next-gen consoles instead of a PC? Honestly, I have never taken part of those PC versus console debates because you use them for different reasons. If you are only gaming and you are okay with not having like Steam, because consoles don't run Steam, right? And not all games are cross-platform. There are some that are, but being able to play everything with your Steam's friend list is way different. And there's no like attached value that you can add to that. So if you're okay with playing consoles and all your other friends use PlayStation Network or Xbox Live or whatever the heck, then that's fine. But yeah, I don't think PCs or consoles will ever replace each other. They each have their own places in the gaming ecosystem. All right, but we also have Andrew Woodford in the house, who may be heading to the gym later today. But Andrew recently cooked curry, the curry that we cooked for LAN Party multiple times, and said that his kids like it, so that's awesome. Here we got Mike 1360, Farasti, Doge, or Dog. We got Drebler, aka Jason, Kevin Ngo, as always, Danny Carbajal, Colin Schultz, KL130, the best YouTube. Man, tons of people. Shane Eslick, as always. Who else was here? Craig Lilly, as always. But yeah, so while we just chill, while we wait for people to come to the stream, let's get these, play these renewals real quick. Just, give people the credit for helping out with the channel membership. Alright, so we got those playing. And bam! Channel memberships, as always. Let's see. And just chilling in chat while this all renews. But how's everybody doing? Hey, we got Coalition Gaming Chris in the house, as always. Danny, he's the man. If he can't do it, maybe tagged by Matt can. Yes. KL130 says, you can do more on a PC. That is true. That is, like, anytime I hear a console versus PC debate, I'm just like, I'm sorry, can you edit videos in Premiere Pro or, like, do Photoshop? Can you write emails and do spreadsheets or word processing on a console? Because... yeah, sure, a console might have better price to performance. Maybe not now because graphics card prices have been going down. But consoles, even if they have better price to performance for gaming, you can't do so many... Can you do your taxes on a console? Yo, do they have TurboTax Console Edition? Because if so, let me know. But yeah, having a PC that can not only game but do so many other things, that you can't attach a dollar amount to that, right? So, let's see. What did Carl Easy said? So I bought a PC recently for $950 and the specs were a 3080 Ti i9 1990K, 32 gigabytes of RAM. Was it a good deal? And then Drebler says, why do you need to feel the lie? Carl Easy, where did you pick that PC up from? I'm finding it hard to believe too, because $900 is pretty much the price of the 3080 Ti. So what person in their right mind would give you an i9 on top of that, which is also pretty valuable, 32 gigs of RAM, and a full PC, right? Motherboard case, SSDs or whatever. Yeah. So, I mean, you gotta tell us more about it, Carl Easy. Otherwise, we're gonna find a hard time believing you, which we already kind of do, but, Drebler says, computer is 100% backward compatible for 40 years. Yeah, that is true, the backwards compatibility wise. Whereas consoles, like, once new games come out for the next, like, games are made per generation. We don't really have games made per generation, because a graphics card from 10 years ago, even, like, processors from 10 years ago, Sandy Bridge, right? Those are all still usable to play 2022 games. So yeah, that's a really good point that I haven't really heard brought up much. So yeah. Wait, Andrew, remind me again. Where were you moving? I remember you talked about moving in the previous streams, but you're moving cross country. Was it to Idaho, or Iowa, or Colorado, somewhere around there? Okay. So let's see. All right, so. It's only been 6 minutes since stream started. It felt like we've just been hanging out for a while. So we'll go for another, up until 5:10 my time. Consoles do have a web browser, but most of the time, you got your controller and you're going like, oh, www dot p o. I mean, but yeah, or I guess you could attach, you can attach, our keyboards plug and play, just like any keyboard that's USB. Can you plug that into a console, whether it be the PS5 or whatever the newest Xbox is, and can you just start typing without having to set anything up? That's how far removed I am from consoles these days, because I haven't owned one for such a long time. The hub, yeah. Oh, from Idaho to Iowa. Got it. Yeah, so I did remember that correctly. I had to guess 3 states, but I got it in one of them. Ricardo Daniel Morales says, hey, Nob, I picked up an i5 8400 with 16 gigs of RAM, 1050, 2 gigabyte, all in a tiny Acer Office PC chassis for $390. I'd say that sounds... It's a tiny Acer Office PC? For around, so $390 or $400, I think you could build a PC that gives you more room to work with and upgrade, or for about that same price. So with that build for $390, you didn't have to do anything yourself. It all came ready to go, right? So if you value that, then sure, that's not a horrible deal. But if you take that same amount of money, you should be able to build a system like that. Probably one with a newer processor, like 10th gen almost. And with the same specs, maybe a better graphics card, because graphics card prices have been coming down. Yeah, you might have been able to get a little bit more squeeze out of it. But the best YouTube says, good news to the chat. 2 weeks ago, they said that they're running a GT 1030. Ouch. Yes. But they've recently upgraded to a 1066 gigabyte. That is pretty good news. That's a big jump. So, hey, we got Bruce Ghostlaw in the house as well. Zane, what did Zane say? Have you heard of a pre-built called Phynix PCs? And there's some hype around it. I've not heard of that, so we can take a look at that. So while we're just chilling right now, let's do that. So, and then I'll go to notifications for now. Phynix leading PCs. Looks like Phynix. Phynix. Why is this not a... I'm not seeing anything on the Google search here. If I'm spelling that correctly, I believe. It looks like there's a video, Phynix PC. So someone has made a video as of 2 days ago about it. But I'm not seeing a website. Maybe it's just been announced, but it's not, like, the website hasn't launched yet. So, no idea. Alright, yep, sounds good, Andrew. Have a good workout. Former Artesian build employees. Interesting. Maybe we can search Twitter on it. Phynix PC. Yeah, so it looks like on Google, there's nothing here. Phynix PC. Phoenix always rises from the ashes. So that's a pretty cool name, given the, you know, the situation that happened at Artesian. 1,000 followers already. Wow. They joined oh, okay. So they basically made this. Wow. I mean, their page has been around since March 2022, which is when the Artesian build drama went down. So interesting to see that they've already garnered 1,000 followers. When was their first posts? Let's see. We go back June. Wow, they are, like, I'm trying to go down on their page, and in the last few days, like June 17th, right? That's only been like 5 days. They've been posting or retweeting or commenting a lot on social media. So, okay, interesting. They aren't showing up on Google searches, but they do have a website here. So let's take a look at this before we get into what I'm going to do today. Their names, they got Harpy, Siren, and Griffin. Very interesting. And then this is the employee-owned and operated startup company. This is alright, so this is a really cool thing to see. Former employees, though I don't recognize any of these people from the Artesian build streams. So let's go to the About Us. Do they mention Artesian at all? Nope, they don't. So doing a search for Artesian, there's no mention of it at all, but they created from the ashes of another company, so they just don't want to mention the name, but they do talk about how yeah, their backstory. So that checks out. I don't remember seeing these builders though, but I'm sure Artesian had a lot of people who weren't the face of, like, the stream side of things. Interesting. Okay. Dude, what do they have for sale? Oh yeah, I always forget to do this to help with the searchability and just, like, the algorithm. But yes, thanks for the reminder, Kevin. Likes and subs and all that stuff does help out for people to find the stream. But let's get back to this. Alright, so the Harpy seems like their lowest NPC. So let's just take a look at this real fast. What do we have going here? Windows 11, 500 gigabyte SSD, and default fans. All the other specs, we got an i3 12100F and a 1660 Super 650 watt for $1,000. Obviously you can build it for cheaper, but considering, so this is an interesting thing about these about companies in general for pre-builts. Warranties, right? There is some value to having a warranty, labor and parts, just like an overarching warranty that you just deal with a company as opposed to like a single manufacturer for a part. But this is a brand new company, right? This company, it looks like their website just launched this month. So how much can you really value their warranty if you don't know if they'll be around for long enough for them to be able to honor it should anything go wrong in a year or two, right? I don't know how difficult it is in the like boutique or like pre-built PC building space right now. I know a lot of people over on Jawa, they have spoken about how hard it is with how easy it is to build and get like cheap graphics cards nowadays. It's harder to sell pre-builts right now than it was like 4 months ago. But that's just for home builders, like, you know, people who are watching the stream right now, myself would be included. I would be a home builder. But on a larger scale level, I don't know how the pre-built scene, like how competitive it is right now. And for a new company like this, you know, former Artesian employees to come along, are they going to still be around 1 or 2 years from now for you to activate that warranty should you need to? But overall, the specs, I mean, they're not looking too bad. Would be nice if you could fit like a 3060 in here somehow, maybe up the price a little bit. This does have an i3 and B660 Prime, so you know they're probably charging anywhere from like 100 to 200 bucks for the labor. But okay, this is pretty cool to see. Let's look at their high-end build real quick before we move on to what I'm working on for this stream. Actually, we're gonna work on it together, but so what does default storage even mean is what I'm curious about. So the default storage, but when you go up to 500 gigabytes, the price goes up 50 bucks. So is there just a hard drive in here? We'll go default fans as well. So what do we have here? 5000D, 12700K, 3080. Oh, this already comes with the 1 terabyte, so we don't need that. 2600, man, RTX 3080s are pretty cheap right now. Let me see if, I think they're like 750 to 800 bucks on Newegg for the cheapest one, but we'll take a quick look. So a system being $2,600, that's kind of a hard sell. Yeah, I mean, we got, I would not buy this one because it's not sold by Newegg and it's $50 shipping. But this one is 780 bucks. It's the MSI Ventus one, sold and shipped by Newegg. So yeah, 780. So for a $2,600 system, seems a little bit pricey, but what else is in here? 32 gigs of RAM, pretty standard stuff. Z690 board, 360 millimeter AIO, 850 watt power supply. I mean, this processor is like $350, $800 here. I don't know where the other $1,600-ish dollars comes from in this build. Unless they're marking up their labor for this one a lot more because it's a more like, you know, it's more labor intensive, I guess, to put this together. And I guess fans are pretty expensive too. If you don't get the cheap Amazon stuff, fans are like a set of 3 from like Corsair or something can easily run you 80 bucks. So yeah, thanks for bringing that up though. Yeah, pretty awesome to see the employees come together and, you know, start a company, but we'll see how they do in the long term, just because again it is a competitive space out there. ZX Qwerty says, hey dude, you should buy a Toasty Bros PC. So the reason I bought Zach's PC was, one, to respond to, or to kind of like do, it's like a response video to Zach doing it on the Toasty Bros, but also because Zach had some really well priced PCs, and if I need to resell it, I have no problem. I'll have no problems reselling it. That was it ended up being $450 at the end of the day due to shipping. I'm pretty sure I could flip or resell it for 400 bucks. Buying a Toasty Bros PC, I don't think I would be able to get my money back as well, just based on how they priced it. So maybe I'll do that. I'll keep an eye on what they sell their PCs for, and if the value is right, I can pick one out. But okay, so in terms of what we're doing today, and everyone, this is gonna be like a group participation thing. So this will eventually be a video, but we are gonna try to put together a sub $500 gaming PC, and we're gonna do it on PC Part Picker. I've already basically locked in the graphics card. I'm gonna be buying that one local, just because there are multiple good deals in my area right now for graphics cards sub $200. So what we're gonna try to do is build a sub $500. It'd be better for the title and thumbnail if I could get it down to like $450. I don't think we can get down to $400. That's just way too difficult without really skimping on like the graphics card. So we're gonna try to build a $450 gaming PC. Try to squeeze out as much performance as possible. Graphics cards are pretty much the only thing that I think is worth buying like in a local area. Everything else, I think we can get Amazon Warehouse or Newegg refurbished for pretty dang cheap, and that are current. And like RAM and SSD, that stuff I've found that it's not really worth picking up local, just like the time and gas it takes versus just buying something Amazon Warehouse and just getting it for really cheap anyway. So yeah, the goal is to build a $450 PC, and let's go over the PC Part Picker, and hopefully this helps whoever's watching the stream right now. If that's around the budget range you're working from, you can do that. So we're in PC Part Picker right now. but let me look at the chat real quick. Let's see. Asian dude, you looking at a ASRock motherboard to keep price low? Honestly, when you're building a PC under $500, especially with used parts and stuff, motherboard, so long as it works, especially since you're probably going to be pairing it with like a lower end processor, you don't really have to worry too much about VRM like performance or like the heat sinks and stuff. Most of it will work fine with Ryzen 3s, even Ryzen 5s and i3s and i5s. So I'm just trying to get the price down as cheap as possible and get the best graphics card possible. But like I said, I already locked that in. So for a $450 build, I'm gonna fill out the video card. How do you put a custom one in here? Can I do that right now? So for the video card, I already have one locked in at $150. I should be picking it up tomorrow through OfferUp if it doesn't fall through. If not, I should better find other ones. But we're gonna lock that price in so that we can work with the remaining budget and see what we can get. But how can I pick how can I fill it in myself? Where's the... Oh, I have to use the links at the bottom to create a custom part. Where's the accessory case? Am I completely blind or am I not seeing what they're talking about? Oh, okay, for the custom part, yeah, I figured, because, man, I do not have an account. Okay, let me see if I can sign in real quick just through email so I don't have to... Oh, they don't have like a Google sign in? No, alright, I'll make an account. Give me 1 second. Okay, got that. Yes, I read the terms and service, and yep, come on. Let me in, thank you. Log in. Oh, I gotta do this stuff again. Mountains or hills? Boom, boom, boom. You know, there should be a activation required. All right, give me 1 second. Gotta go over to my email, activate this thing real quick. Oh, there's another CAPTCHA on this. Well, PC. Are people scamming PC Part Picker or botting it enough to the point where they need to run CAPTCHA on every single thing you try to do? This is my 3rd time doing CAPTCHA. And I just did not pass it. Come on. Bus. Select the buses. Got it. Alright, I should be good now. So I should be able to log in. Let me go over here real quick. Alright, we're good. Sorry about that. Use it to host printed video links. I see. Okay, so we go to PC Builder, add custom part. There we go. Good looking out. So we're gonna add a custom part, and I'm not gonna tell you what graphics card it is, but you don't have to worry. It's gonna be one that is good performance for the price, because I want to keep it at least a little bit of a mystery. But there's such a wide range of CPUs that can be paired with GPUs that it's not going to limit what we're going to be putting into this thing, which under $500, we're pretty much looking at like i3s or i5s or Ryzen 3s and Ryzen 5s. So it's not going to be anything too crazy, but let me add a custom part real quick. So manually create part. It's going to be a graphics card. Is that under, oh, video card. Part name, so mystery graphics card. No URL, and the price is $150. Assuming that my seller does not flake out on me, I'm going to be getting the card for $150. Mystery graphics card. So now we have, remember, we're trying to keep this under $500. Ideally $450, just because $450 sounds way better than $500, in my opinion. Like for a video title, I think that would perform way better. Alright, let's take a look at the chat real quick. Danny is a robot, confirmed. I'm not a robot. I passed the captcha after 2 tries, okay? After 2 tries. The 1200F is better than the 10400 Crazy World. Yeah, that generational gain in single core performance, I believe. I don't think it beats it in multi-core, but I may be wrong because you do have six cores, 12 thread on that. But okay. So the way that I usually like to approach these builds is we lock in parts that we pretty much have to get, right? So things that aren't going to affect the performance too much, like RAM and storage. So let's look at storage first. Honestly, the minimum requirement for this is going to be 500 gigabytes. We're not going to do that 250 or 120 gigabyte stuff. That I just don't think has a place in a PC in 2022, especially when you have more than like $300 or $400. It is so cheap to get a 500 minimum gigabyte SSD right now that it's worth doing so that you can fit at least a few AAA title games on it without having to deal with like a spinning hard drive. Especially since we're not going to go with the spinning hard drive with this. We're only going to go SSD. So we definitely need that 500. So we're going to take a look here and sort by price. Okay. Use the deal that's pinned. Exact. Okay, yeah. So Kevin actually put a Newegg link here. So let's see if I can find it on PC Part Picker. But we do have a Western Digital Blue SN570 right now. 10% off. So it's 43 bucks. 10% off is going to be $4.30, bringing it down to like 38 bucks or so. So let me try to find this deal. It should be on PC Part Picker. And if y'all are interested in that, it's pinned, but let me just sort to make sure there's no better deals though. Let's see. SSD, and I'm honestly, for a build like this, I'm open to 2.5-inch drives as well, if they're cheap enough. If it's just barely cheaper, then of course I'm gonna go NVMe. But okay, so let's go up to 500 gigabytes, and we're gonna go minimum 400, so we can just sort out all the other crap. Okay, so now we're gonna sort by this filter. So we got the Neo Forza NF-SO1, 480 gigabytes, or the Western Digital, yeah, 3870 right here. So my goodness, this is so cheap. So then it goes for the ADATA. Then we got some 2.5-inch drives, which I don't really think is worth. First of all, it's not worth spending more than the Western Digital drive. Let's see what else we have. Then we are into the $40 territory. And yeah, at this point now we're like a good almost, you know, $6-7, which doesn't sound like a lot. But for a drive, for a system this cheap, especially with it being an NVMe drive, I don't believe this has DRAM, but I think that's gonna be fine. So we'll add this one. So first find is the same one that Kevin posted before stream started, and we've got our under $40 SSD. Let me look at chat real quick, because I don't want to get too distracted where I'm not looking at chat at all. YouTube just kicked you to 240p? Oh my goodness. That's unacceptable. Yeah, for sure. It is that this is a great price, even DRAM or not. Like, I need to make a video comparing DRAM versus DRAM less drives, because for budget builds, if you're really tight on money, I think going DRAM, and I've said this in multiple videos, but I've never shown the side-by-side performance for all the different use cases, like boot up, boot up, game loading, file transfer, all that stuff. So I need to do a specific video on that eventually. But okay. Why is YouTube kicking people to lower? Is anyone else out there having this issue too? Or are plenty of people watching at 720 and 1080p just fine? Because I want to make sure it's not on my end, on the streaming side of things, that's causing that. Okay, so for the power supply, I think we're gonna go EVGA B stock with this one, because they've been having some pretty solid deals. Well, it's the same deals as always. EVGA B stock. We all need a power supply. no matter what. And we're gonna go at least 550. And let's see what the cheapest 550. So Apevia, Thermaltake Smart, EBJ W1. So yeah, B stocks power supplies don't pop up on here. If I had to buy from a PC part picker thing, going down this list, the first one, yeah, I would go for, wow, the 550 Tough is $50 right now. In the previous weeks, the 650 Tough was this price. So this is interesting to see right here. So we're going to take a look at B stock though, because their power supplies are usually pretty solid. I think Drebler, is Jason going to say anything about how he got a DOA one? But B stock power supplies. Yeah, they usually have some pretty solid stuff here. Like, oh my goodness. $35? Weren't these just 30 like a week or two ago? Chris says, ask Toasty Bros which PSU you should use. Alright, to be completely fair to the Toasty Bros, in the RTX, what was that challenge that we did? It was like a $700 RTX 3080 gaming PC build. Or was it $350 where you got the 3080 but then you added $350 worth of parts to it? Either way, multiple people use those Ares game power supplies. I used it as well. I think it was a 650 watt. It ran the system with the RTX 3080 with zero issues at all. Like, I know the PSU tier list says it's a E avoid, but I don't think I've seen any actual like written or like data for it, any written articles or data with an in-depth review saying what is actually unsafe about the Ares game power supplies. So, and what happens when it's actually loaded up to like 100%, 110, 120% beyond, you know, what its rated wattage is. So, I mean, don't give the Toasty Bros too hard of a time, okay? Like, power supplies, yeah, you should get a good unit if you can, but I think a lot of people over-exaggerate how bad power supplies are, if that makes sense. But anyways, going back to this, so we do have the 600 GD, so there are multiple, this is the only, is this a C or B tier one? So we got a $35 unit here. Going over to PC Part Picker, for $35, we're not going to get anything better than this. And I'm perfectly okay with using like used or B stock power supplies when the budget is this low. So I think I'm gonna have to make a custom part. So we'll grab this one right here. So let me make a custom part for what's it called? For PC Part Picker. But let's read what the chat has to say. Jawa has some PSUs for decent. Corsair 600 watt for 45. Well, the Corsair 600 watt, I think it's $40 on Amazon, and I would rather get it from Amazon because it's free shipping. Jawa, there's always gonna be, or there's usually like a $10 to $15 shipping charge. But we can take a look here. Let's look at power supplies. Lowest price. So Ares Game 500 watt for $37. Isn't this how much they go for on Amazon? Okay, so we have a Asus Tough 550 watt for $45. Corsair 600 watt for that. And then yeah, so it's because you have to put the shipping in here. Which, how much is shipping gonna be for this thing? $45. 11 bucks. So yeah, I could buy this, a newer version of this power supply, actually the 650 watt, for less on Amazon and not have to deal with the hassle should anything go wrong with returns. So I think I'm gonna stick with this $35 one, the EVGA 600 GD. So let's go grab this real quick as a custom part. Okay, power supply. There's gonna be a B stock 600 watt GD. Alright, and then we're gonna add that custom part. So, where did the power supply go? Oh, I did not do the price. Whoops. The price is gonna be $35. What is DOA? Dead on arrival. Yeah. Wait, Jason, I forget how many power supplies you've bought from EVJB stock in the history of like ever. What is your success rate with them? Because I've bought, I don't know, by this point maybe like 20 to 25 of them, and I've only ever had, I think, one come DOA. So I've had pretty good luck with it. But yeah, I guess people in chat, anyone who have ordered EVJB stock, have you had dead on arrival stories at all, or is it generally successful? You bought 5 in 3 months and 2 has died. So yeah, that's a 40% unsuccessful rate, which is pretty high. For me, it's less than 5%, so I still trust them until, you know, I have a bad stint of bad luck. So okay, so now we're already at $223. We're gonna need a RAM, so we're gonna look at memory. So let's take a look at what we're gonna get. 16 gigabytes if possible, 3000 plus megahertz, right? Just because it'll help out with Ryzen, and I don't think it gets that much cheaper when you go 2666. So let's look at DDR4 in the filter here, and then we're gonna put 16. It's gonna be 2x8. I'm not doing that 8 gigabyte for a budget build crap. Like, there's no excuse not to get at least 16 gigabytes, especially if you're doing like DDR4. Even if your build is like $300, you can fit 16 gigabytes of RAM in there. You just gotta dig a little harder to find like the used stuff. But we have enough room. We should be able to just get straight from Amazon. Used shouldn't be that much cheaper. So if we go to lowest price, we do have Silicon Power 2666. We have Team Group T-Create Classic. What is this? Oh my, CL22. So this is a CL. Okay, so latency is pretty bad on this kit. I think this makes it even worse than like a 2666 CL14 or CL16 kit. But this is $47. Okay, what else do we have here? Yeah, so the first word latency. Hello? PC part picker. Can you spell check up here? Shane Acker says, I bought around 15 or so. Only had one failure so far. So, okay. That's good to hear. Mythic Nitro says, hey, what's up? I had a certain question. How I can upgrade my PC? It's a dinosaur, but still a 4-core i7 from 2009. Okay. It has 12 gigs of RAM. Yeah, if you're trying to upgrade a system like that, I mean, none of that's usable. If you have like at least 400 or 500 to upgrade, you're basically going to be building a system like what we're building right now. It is not worth upgrading anything that has parts from 2009. That's DDR3 memory. That's really old motherboard, and yeah, you're going to have to replace everything. Aside from maybe the power supply, but even then, you're probably well beyond warranty, maybe at the end of the life of that. The case, if it's from 2009, it's gonna be pretty old, might not have USB 3.0, stuff like that. So it might be best to build just like a brand new system for around $400 to $500 if you can. But yeah, so for memory, we're gonna keep going down. Okay, so T-Force Vulcan Z, this is like almost always low price. I think it looks pretty sleek. I like the look of the Vulcan Zs, even though there's no RGB. I don't care about RGB in the system. We're going for, you know, pretty much performance here. This one is CL3000 CL16. Is there 3200 CL16? How much does that one cost? T-Force Zeus for 48. So I mean, if you look at the prices here on the right, we're in like a few dollar band here. So I am willing to pay a couple more dollars if we can get like that 3200 CL16 sweet spot. Vulcan Tough. Here's this one's 3200 CL16 for 49. So we're looking at between these two kits $47.99 versus $49. So $2 more gets you an additional 200 megahertz, same cast latency. I think I would pick this one right here. Nope, a mystery card for 150, so it's either a 1070 or a lucky 1080. Yeah, maybe you might be onto something. We could actually take a look at my local market and see what cards are going for, so if you guys want to guess. But yeah, for RAM, I mean, let's just take a look at Jawa actually. Let's see if there's any memory on here. But if you remember from Bitwit's video, if you saw that one, when Kyle, he looked here, basically the RAM prices, it wasn't really worth buying the used RAM when new RAM costs not that much more. So yeah, we're looking at DDR4, but this is really slow stuff for 40 bucks. Where's the... Rand is selling 16 gigabytes in a 4x4, 3000 megahertz for 50 bucks. Yeah. So RAM prices in the used market, RAM is one of the things that like lasts forever. It doesn't really get damaged unless I guess you overclock it, or like overvolt it. But it's very durable. It lasts forever, and yeah, it's pretty simple stuff. So it doesn't really drop in value being in the used market. So I think it's just more worth it to buy the brand new stuff. So wait. How can I... Now, here it is. Yeah, so I'm just going to add the T-Force Vulcans for... Where is it? Come on. 3200 megahertz. Unless anyone can convince me otherwise on, like, a different kit of RAM. So, what are we looking at right now? We're looking at $273 so far. We've got our power supply, mystery graphics card, RAM, and memory. So, we just need a CPU, motherboard, and a case. So, for the case... We're working up to the CPU because we need to figure out how cheap we can get this build before we start adding that up. Oh my goodness. Okay. I might have a case in mind already. Just download RAM says FG204. We could download RAM, but I'm just kidding. No, we're not downloading RAM. Because that's not real. Okay. Cases are still stupidly high price right now. Like, I mean, PC Power Picker, it like scans all of the internet, or at least like the reputable places to buy stuff from, right? Newegg, Amazon, Best Buy, etc. Sorting by compatible cases, which is pretty much any case, because we haven't even selected our motherboard. I guess we did select the power supply, so it's gonna not pick ITX cases that need SFX power supplies. Looking at the lowest price case right now, look at this. There are no cases less than $45. I'm sorting by lowest price right now. That's what we do around here. And we can't find anything less than 45. Are you kidding me? Gone are the days of the cheap $20, $30 cases. So, because the cheapest case is 45 bucks right now, I'm going to use a case that I already bought, but we can pull it up on here to look too. Okay? This is going to be a really cool case. And it's a little bit more expensive, but with these builds, aside from getting good price to performance, I do use it as a way for me to experience new parts or new, like in this case, new cases, as well as showcase some uniqueness to the build. And this build is going to be pretty cool if I use this case. Give me 1 second. Alright, so I already got a case on hand that I've been wanting to use. Has anyone ever seen this case before? Look at this case. This is the Sama S88 BK. I think that stands for black. But yo, look at that handle on it, right? I'm gonna pull it up on the browser in a second. But this case, I bought it a few weeks ago. It's $50. I think I'm gonna use it. Can we, does it even show up here? It doesn't. So, Sama Newegg handle. Let's see if we can find this. Oh my goodness. Did they already take this off? Sama, what is this? S88. Is this case so popular? Oh, here it is. Ooh, and there's a 10% off code, so it would be 45 bucks. Why did this not show up on PC Part Picker? It's a mid tower too, so it's not micro ATX. But yeah, yes, it does look like a Think Center PC, but look. So I built with the case with the handle, that tacular case, like at the beginning of the year, or was that in December? That one didn't even have a tempered glass side panel. This one actually does. The case, as I've always said, is a very subjective thing. I bet if you ask Zach, or like someone who's more aesthetically focused, they're gonna say this is an ugly case. And it's all subjective, right? Like, to me, the front panel looks like whatever. Doesn't have the best airflow, but it's fine. We're not going to be using crazy high-end parts. We're not overclocking. We don't have i9s and like 3090s in here. But look at that handle. I will always drool over handles, especially ones. This one looks like a pretty solid handle. So, I mean, it's got tempered glass. It's got a power supply basement. So this is already way better than the Tacular. Let me show you. Let me remind you the Tacular case. Oh. I'm gonna have to look up my own PC build. Here it is. This thing. So this case. Can I find the Newegg case? Huh. Where's that? Where? I'm going to like my own parts list. Tacular HSCCGI. Tacular case. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Oh, did they just like take that case out of existence? I can't even find that case anymore on Google. Wow. So, either way, this Sama case looks like it's readily available in stock for 50 bucks. It has a handle though, and tempered glass, and a basement, like I said. I think this is pretty good value considering the utility of a case with a handle. Plus, there's a little discount here. So, let me try to find that on PC Part Picker because I'm surprised it does not show up. Yeah, imagine brand new PC in that. Well, okay. When you have a case with a handle, you're not supposed to just like hold it only by the handle and swing it around, even though that's what I do to like test it to make sure it's a solid handle. The handle, you grab it and you still grab like the bottom of the case, but it's just way easier to maneuver it like that when you do have one good like gripping surface that you can hold on to, as opposed to like holding the bottom of your PC case or like the side of it, and you know that it just helps with stability. But let me see if I can find the Sama case. And why is it not popping up on PC Part Picker? Yeah, it's not here. This is annoying. Like, typing in Sama, it doesn't show up for whatever reason. Can I get rid of the compatibility checker? Because I don't care, but like, I wonder if it's the compatibility filter. Okay, so taking off the compatibility filter, we still can't find that case here. So I don't know how frequently PC Part Picker scans, but I'm surprised this case doesn't show up because it's right here, clearly on Newegg. It has a lot of items purged. Interesting. I've not come well, I don't use PC Part Picker often, to be fair. But interesting that people are saying that they purged it. Everyone, stop buying DIY PC. They are bad. So Jason brings up a good point. Yeah, I'm not a fan of DIY PC cases for the most part. They do cut a lot of corners. It's a lot of people like it because they are around that $40 to $50 price point, but my goodness, you do usually see the value drop because you're spending that little. Now, again, this case, it probably has corners cut. Maybe, we'll see. I haven't built in it yet, but the handle to me has like a lot of value that I can't attach a dollar amount to. So I'm going to go with this case. It is priced in line with everything else that we're seeing for the cheapest cases so that we can maximize on the CPU essentially. So yeah, let me go back. So I'm going to have to add, man, lots of custom parts today. Oh, I can put the part URL in. Let's see if that does anything to it. And then we're gonna go, so it's gonna be $45. Mark this custom part, already purchased. Okay, add custom part. Okay. So right now we are sitting at $318. If we could stick below $450, that would be the goal. If not, we do have all the way up to $500, which is another 180 bucks worth. We have everything. We got, except for the motherboard and the CPU. We got the RAM, we got the SSD, we got the mystery graphics card for $150, B-stock 600 watt, and then the Sama case with the handle. What are we gonna do for the CPU and the motherboard? i3 processor. So I'm thinking i3, we might be able to fit i3 12100F in here with the motherboard. Or if we want to go cheaper, we go i3 10100. So it just depends on what they're priced at. We'll take a look. With the 12100F, both the CPU and the compatible motherboard are going to be a little bit more pricey than the 10th gen. But I'm also open to Ryzen. I don't know. With Ryzen, the good thing is that you get a B450 board. You could end up putting like a 5800X in it later on if you want. Whereas Intel, you're locked to like 2 generations worth of processors per chipset, right? So we have up to $180 to spend. Preferably less than that. But you know what? Let's just go up to the 500, I guess. What are people in the chat saying? Actually, hey, we haven't run a poll tonight yet. So for the CPU, Ryzen or let's see, AMD or Intel. So let's run a poll, see what people are thinking for that, and yeah, let's see. Just build a handle using epoxy. That's not the same thing as like a molded one that's a part of the front panel already. i3 says Kevin no. 12100F is what Drebler's saying. FG204 says FX 6300. What a troll. Okay. I simply am not there says 1600 AF B450. The 1600 AF honestly is not a bad processor to still use in this day and age. It's just that from what I've seen, they still are too expensive for how old they are. I'm seeing them still for like 70, 80 bucks, which at that point, why not get a newer Intel processor? i3, yeah, so for the i3, 10100, 10105, yeah, any of those would work. Oh, yes or no? My goodness. I love how people still voted. Yeah, I always mess up these polls. Okay, yeah. Let me redo the poll. I'm so dumb. AMD versus AMD or Intel for the CPU. AMD, Intel. Okay, sorry about that. I get too excited and I press the button too soon. Very big brain fart on my end. Nerd on a brain fart. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. People are saying AMD. The only caveat is I have to be able to buy it online. The graphics card is the only thing that I want to buy from a local market right now. Just because the prices are coming down really well on those. But for the CPUs and stuff, like from Amazon warehouse or eBay, they're generally pretty cheap. So it's not worth the time and effort and gas and stuff usually to look in the local market. And people, if anything, in my area in Seattle, I cannot find like any i3s or like Ryzen 3s or Ryzen 5s that are priced well, because I think all the cheaper ones get swooped up by people who are flipping builds. So I want to go for both the motherboard and the CPU. It's basically going to be eBay, Amazon warehouse, or Newegg. Hopefully refurbished so we can save some money here. But all right, we got AMD. Wow, what AMD processor are y'all thinking? You thinking like the 4100 or like one of the new Ryzen 3s? Yeah, and I'm definitely going to use the stock cooler on this one. I know they're not the prettiest thing, but if we're going Ryzen 3 or i3, the stock cooler is plenty. It's going to keep the chip, you know, below 75 degrees usually. And yeah, I mean, our case isn't the most pretty. It's not the prettiest thing in the world anyway, so. All right, we got AMD for 57. Now, this poll is just so that we can start looking. It doesn't mean I'm for sure gonna go AMD, because it depends on what we can find, right? So, I think I have a general idea of what the motherboards cost. So we'll just sort by price when looking at the CPU, and then we're gonna assume motherboards like 50 to 60 bucks refurbished. So Drebler says 3600 plus B450. Yeah, I mean, that might be a decent combo depending on how cheap the 3600 is. Because look, if we look at, let's just use eBay as an example. We're gonna look at eBay Ryzen 3600, right? If we look at buy it now, lowest first. If I wanted to buy one right now that's not broken, looks like the cheapest I don't need this 8. That one's not accurate. So the cheapest one is 115 bucks. That does leave us with enough room to get a B450 board for around $50. But I don't know if for a gaming PC, if you're not carrying about as many of like the threads and stuff, I don't know if that's a better value than the 12100, which if we look at 12100F, we don't even have to look at eBay for this because I think Amazon's gonna have the best prices, right? 12100F, $106, brand new, or wow, I guess there's no used ones right now. 106 or 116. Let's take a look at 12100 non-F. So those ones are a bit more. Okay. And then we look at the 10100s or 10105s. So this one's 80 bucks, which is still a crazy good value. Let's look at 10100F. I don't know if this is gonna be that much cheaper. Whoa, 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 whoa. My eyes just like open. Look at this. Used for $65, like new. This is almost half the price of the 3600. Yes, we're gonna have less cores and threads. But this can handle up to like a 1080, kinda no problem for gaming at higher settings. Holy crap. I didn't know that they went down. I thought these were at least 75 bucks or 80. Yeah, these were definitely higher priced not too long ago. So I might have to pick this up for 65 bucks. I mean, the both were for AMD. Let's go take a look at AMD CPUs. So we're gonna look at for the price, we're gonna max out at, just so I can filter stuff out. We'll put no higher than 150. We'll go by lowest price. Is there any way to choose like the RAM? Basically, I want anything DDR4 or higher. You can't. Really. Okay. So we're gonna go like all the Zens, Alder Lake, gonna go Coffee Lake Refresh. We'll just add as many things as possible. Oh, geez. Okay, we're gonna have to put some cores and thread counts in here, I guess, because they're gonna want to show us Celerons. Okay, so 10105, 75 bucks, but we found the Amazon warehouse used one for 65. Yeah, we might be able to fit a aftermarket cooler in this, actually, depending on how low we get this build. But the Ryzen 5 4500. Let's take a look at this over on Amazon, see if there's any open box specials. Amazon actually has it for more expensive than Newegg, right? So it's 120 on Newegg. I don't think this is worth that at all. We might be going with the 10100F at 65 bucks after finding that. Yeah, used is still 128. So the new, like the Ryzen 4500, yeah, those aren't gonna work. We can't really go for any of the more expensive Ryzen chips because it's going to eat into our motherboard budget, which we don't have that much to spend. It's like, here's the 5500 for 140. Don't think that's worth it at all. That's too expensive. We're pretty much paying almost the same as the graphics card, which the graphics card should by far be the most expensive part of the build. If you're doing, mainly for gaming. Here's a 3100 for 135. So yeah, I'm not seeing anything that's as enticing. What's the 12100 going for? 106. Let's see what this is going for on Amazon. Huh. Amazon's not even on here. That's interesting. We could fit this under 500 bucks as well. So yeah, 106. We can get a $60 motherboard, and we're coming in pretty close to 500 bucks, but well below it. We can fit a $20 cooler. What's people in the chat saying? Let me see. You should see other marketplaces, see if AMD is cheaper. Yeah, so we could definitely take a look at that. Like, I mean, what else do we have? eBay. So we looked at the 3600 on eBay, but I don't think something like the 5500 is gonna be that much better here. Like, it's too new to have seen a substantial price drop to be worth it. So let's take a look at 3100. A 3100 costs 86 bucks. I mean, I'd rather save 20 bucks. And this is coming from China, though. So this is going to take forever to get here. If we look at the 4500 or 4100, I guess. Yeah, 4100 is 90 bucks. So AMD side of things, there's not as big of a discount as the cheapest Intel chips. Now, if I go with the 10100F for 65 bucks, I will be able to push under 450 bucks, which will definitely help the video out. Of course, anyone using the video as a build guide, they can always, you know, buy a slightly better stuff and spend up to the 500. But I'm not seeing anything, unless y'all have any suggestions in the chat. I'm not seeing any AMD processors that are like making a compelling argument to go with it price to performance wise over either the 12100F or that super cheap $65 10100F. Let's see what chat's saying. Is Digital Storm a good brand? I mean, they make decent PCs, a little bit overpriced depending on which ones you're looking at, but sometimes they do have good coupon deals or like Black Friday sales where you can get pretty good value on it. Kevin Go says the i3 is a winner. Change my vote after that price. Go Intel. Yeah, I think I was even surprised by that price. I think we're gonna I mean, there's multiple listings for this for 65 bucks, and it's a CPU. They're marked as like new, but even if it was like used good or whatever, I would be totally okay with it. Let's look at the price of this. Okay, actually no. Someone said to look at other marketplaces. Let's look at OfferUp, and I will show you what I was talking about in my local area. So we're gonna go local only, 30 miles of me, right? We're gonna see the listings. So I'm just gonna put in Ryzen 3, very generic, broad range of stuff. Oh my, what is this? A 3100 for $1? Shoot an offer. Yeah, I'm not playing this game. Put a price that you want. Here's a Ryzen 3 3200G. Yeah, so for whatever reason, people are overvaluing their Ryzen processors. This is not worth $80. What else do we have? So we'll check out Ryzen 5s in a second. But yeah, oh, I hate these ads. Look at this. What? $49. Pay the listed amount today and bring it home and pay the rest later. I hate these companies. These are the phone guys in Renton. Oh my goodness. They've flooded. Look at how much they flooded these listings with these laptops that they're saying $41, $49, $41, because that's like the down payment you have to pay. They're ruining my searching experience on OfferUp, but we're not finding anything on Ryzen 3s. Let's look at Ryzen 5s real quick. Please do not have any of those stupid listings. We have a 3600, ooh, with the Arctic cooler for $70. Hold up. This one I would have to message the person. Whoa, wait. No box for the items and just for pickup. The cooler, interesting. Huh. Yo, this is a really good... This is actually really good. Shipping is turned off. This is a good deal because it comes with the cooler. Plus, I won't have to pay taxes on this. So no tax, has the cooler. And it's $70. It was posted 7 hours ago. I don't know if this is going to get snatched up or not. But if it does, then it's no problem because I can always grab the Intel later. It's like readily available on Amazon. But 70, okay. Now I'm going to run another poll for y'all. Which one do I grab? Because y'all are going to play a big part in this decision-making process. So AMD and Intel ending the last poll. We were at 50-50, right? We're going to run a new poll. And we're going to pick which do I buy. Amazon $65 i3 10100F. Or the OfferUp $70 Ryzen 3600 with cooler. Let's go. So yeah. Let's look at the vote. Dang. All right, I might have to message this person like right now. So we'll let the poll run for a bit. But it's looking like overwhelming majority for this 3600. Okay, so this listing does look a little sketch because they're a member since June 2022. They've got no ratings at all, but it's for pickup. So the only way it could be sketch is if it doesn't work, but I can bring a PC and test this to make sure it works. I can bring a PC with a motherboard and everything and say, hey, I'd like to test it. And then just run Cinebench or something to make sure there's no problems. This is a little bit weird how you see, look at the text here. It has like some objects, or I guess there might have been emojis or something in here. But they are TrueU verified. Yeah, that's what that check mark means. I think this is worth exploring. I can try to get it if there's issues when I'm testing, or if like it gets sold, because this is a pretty good price and is a brand new listing. I wouldn't be surprised if multiple people hit them up for this. But I'm gonna try, but let's assume I get this one, because with all the votes, 87% of the people say to get the Ryzen. So we're gonna put $70. Let me go back to PC Part Picker. Where is it? We're gonna put in more custom parts. So we're gonna put Ryzen 3600, so which means we would need a B450 board. We're looking at $70 for this one. So right now we're at a total of $388. I can hit the $450 price point, I'm pretty sure. And we get a CPU cooler too. So we're gonna put in a CPU cooler, Arctic tower cooler. I don't know which one it is, but it doesn't really matter. This is gonna be $0 because it's included. And yeah, the build's looking pretty good right now. You should get it for a Craigslist ride-along video as well. So I already have the $150 graphics card right here. That's planned for a Craigslist ride-along video. So I don't know if I want to do one for the CPU too. Maybe I could do both in one. But yeah, this one is I'm planning for a Craigslist ride-along. So I might not do one for the CPU, we'll see. But right now we're at $388 before tax. If I can find a $60 motherboard, I pretty much come in at the $450 target. There's no reason to spend more than that on the motherboard, in my opinion. Like, yeah, just get whatever B450 that can fit within 60 bucks. Because the B450s, most of them have BIOS support for like the new gens, unless you really want to overclock, but I'm not really going for crazy overclocks here. Like stock performance on the 3600 is gonna work fine with the graphics card we're choosing. But all right, so let's just look for a B450 motherboard. Let's see what PC Part Picker has actually. Choose a motherboard. So we're gonna go AM4, which is pretty nice how it like basically filters everything super easy for us. The cheapest B450 board is the DS3H Wi-Fi. So there is some value to Wi-Fi. Not everybody has a line, like a hard Ethernet line going to their like desk setup. So Newegg actually has this for 60 bucks. And is that the only B450? I definitely want at least a B450 for like that option to even be able to play around with overclocking. Gigabyte DS3H non-Wi-Fi costs more for some reason. We're not even looking at refurbished or open box yet, so we're gonna look at that in a second. Yeah, so pretty much Gigabyte DS3H, very kind of like entry-level B450 board. This one does have the Wi-Fi for 60 bucks. Now let's take a look at Newegg's refurbished, because Newegg and Amazon refurbished actually. B450 motherboard. You'd go for the DS3H? Yeah, I'm thinking that too, unless we could find something like the... Look at this. A B450 Aorus Pro Wi-Fi. This is much nicer. Look at this one. 120. New or used? I would definitely get the new or used acceptable. What the heck does that mean? I could always return it if it sucks through Amazon. Like if it's... Yeah, actually this one I would pick over the DS3H. This one also has Wi-Fi and it's a pretty nice board. ASRock B450 Pro 4. Yeah. So we'll see if that comes up here. We have the DS3H as we saw. Let's look at some of these Aorus ones. I want to look for the warehouse deal. 68 bucks. So plenty of motherboards under 70 bucks, especially if I don't mind going used. This one's 58 bucks here. So where's the Pro 4s though? How are they not popping up? Hey, we got a what is that? A channel member, Dob Slaps. They renewed their membership. Thank you for that. Pro 4s, for whatever reason, on Amazon are not going for that good of prices right now. I wonder if it's just because they're kind of phasing out. So this is just remaining stock that all the sellers are kind of marking up in price. Here's the... Not a Pro 4. This is the Promontory board, which I could never pronounce correctly. B550. I don't think B550s are going to be that cheap either. Here's a Prime. Yeah, so let's take a look on Newegg side of things. Sort by price? Amazon sort by price is like the worst thing in the world, usually. But we do have a... Oh! MSI Pro Series B450. We can get this one for 55 bucks used. So there's plenty of boards that are kind of like more simple or low end. Honestly though, of everything we've seen, I'm leaning pretty hard towards this. This is gonna be, I think, a lucky deal, because if you look at all the other used ones, hey, Japoya, thank you for the renewed membership. Yeah, everything else here except for this, and this is gonna come on Friday. Ooh, this is like 1.5 weeks. Why so long? I guess that can still work out. I can wait. I can be patient. But 65 bucks. This is what the deal hunt is all about, right? Never. Yeah, so some people are saying acceptable. Okay, let's read the whole acceptable condition. Cosmetic imperfections bigger than 1 inch on top, front, or sides of the item. So cosmetic. That could be a scuff. That could be a scratch. Does not necessarily mean actually damaged. It could actually be a scratch or something. Maybe a scratch on like this right here, or a scratch on this plastic. That honestly does not faze me. I do not care, considering this board definitely looks like noticeably better than the DS3H. No, you can't miss the I/O on this one. So I understand where you're coming from. A lot of the like acceptable motherboards, they're missing the I/O. This has a built-in I/O, so I don't think missing I/O could be an issue. Maybe missing heatsink holders here, maybe, but it says it's a cosmetic imperfection and not like missing parts. Oh, missing bonus material, which I don't care about. Nobody cares about. I don't really care about the bonus material part of it. So yeah, it's always returnable. So I think I'm gonna get this one at 65 or 66 bucks, I guess, because we're gonna round up here. Now let's take a look at the total list. Keep on losing my PC part picker. Add a custom part. Man, we found a bunch of stuff that weren't actually on PC part picker. Aorus B450 Wi-Fi, and it's gonna be $66. Let's take a look at the grand total. Let me actually go and take this. So our grand total, we came in just over $450, barely. And this is of course before tax. Depending on where you are, after taxes will probably be at 10% in Washington. We're basically at 500. But let me pick this up. Is this There's 3 of these ones apparently for 65 bucks. So yeah, I'm picking this up right now, but for someone else, one of you out there snipes it from me. Wow, and it's gonna come June 30th, Prime. So when I was logged in, they had Prime for it, so it's gonna come way quicker. Awesome. Yeah, I should be able to return this, no problem. So I picked that up. All right, we're sitting at a $450 bill right now. I'll share this if you all want to see, but if you want to follow this as like a template, but I think we have a really solid build here. We've got the Ryzen 3600, B450, Aorus Wi-Fi, a pretty nice motherboard. I don't think we're really skimping out much on the build. The only thing y'all don't know about is this mystery graphics card for $150, which we can take a look at my local area so I can show you like what, you know, what's being sold for basically. Can we include Amazon points to get it down? No, it's okay. If I market this as a $450 build and it comes in a little bit over, I think that's still fine. Because there are ways to easily get this under $450. And I'll talk about that in the video. Like, I'll say get a $60 motherboard instead of this one. It'll work basically very similarly, gaming performance-wise anyways. So yeah, that's fine. Alright, now let's look at this graphics card. So I put in a mystery $150 graphics card here. Actually, we've been doing a lot of browser stuff. Let me just show the face and look at chat. So if anybody has anything to say, I'm just gonna read it for a second. Also, if y'all have anything, Doback or Doback Slaps, when's the next LAN video? Thank you for the $5 super chat. Next LAN video, we are landing July 22nd weekend. So that is 1 month from now, because today is June 22nd. We're landing, and the video will hopefully come out like 2 to 3 weeks after that. So sometime in early August. But yeah, super excited. Like I said in previous streams, I got a new grill. We're going to be grilling out here. I think we're going to be landing here in the basement. We did redo upstairs, but I don't think we'll be landing at the main floor just because I don't want to be a nuisance to my wife. Like when we land, we stay up late, we're loud, we're rowdy. I don't want to do that into like 3, 4 a.m. in the morning. Because from our master bedroom, you could hear the living room. So being in the basement, it suppresses the sound way better. But yeah, that's what's going on with the LAN. Give me 1 second while y'all are chatting and I'm reading chat. I'm also gonna send a message to this person. Here's the thing though, if this 3600 has sold already, then I'm gonna probably go back and grab the Intel. I'm gonna grab the 10100F, and I'll cancel my order or return my order for the actually I might just keep that B450 Aorus board because I could use that in something else. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if this 3600 deal works out. But I'm pretty excited about this build. It's definitely gonna be pretty good price to performance given the price. Let's see. Mr. Breadstick says, I bought an EVGA 1650 Super brand new for $216 yesterday. Is that a bad deal? Lol. I would say that's not the best deal because so 1650 Super for $216. A 1650 Super comes below a 1070. And we're gonna look at offer-up and stuff too. But yours is brand new. See, it's tough. You bought it brand new. There's not many cards you can buy for brand new around 200 bucks. Aside from like the 6050 Super, the RX 6500 XT, which we're not doing that. But was brand new a requirement for you? Because if so, then yeah, I guess the deal's fine. But when we've got like this mass exodus of graphics cards from miners and stuff with crypto tanking and everything, we're starting to see like this parts only. Let's get through the parts only. Look at this. This is a GTX 1070 3-fan MSI Duke. It's from an account that has some sales and stuff. I would trust this one. This one looks legit. Upgrading your system works well. 3 fans runs cool. Anything wrong with it? You can run 2 monitors. Yep. So there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with this, right? This is $160 plus $20 shipping. This is a better value than a 1650 Super in my opinion. And there are multiple GTX 1070s. Here's another one. Free 4-day shipping. Here's a gigabyte card, $180. I would have rather bought a 1070 than a 1650 Super, even if it is half a generation older. Like driver support wise, I'm not too worried. It's just the performance is going to be better here. Fecal Flipper 47, what a name. Fecal Flipper 47 says, I'm getting an EVGA 3060 XC for $300 on OfferUp, but it was a mining card used for about 4 months. Should I still get it? I would still pick that up, because you're saving on tax with OfferUp. If you buy from EVGA, even if you could get that magical MSRP $330, another 10% for tax or whatever, it's gonna bring that up to like $350 or $360, right? OfferUp, you're gonna pay a flat $300. It was mined for 4 months. Honestly, I think most, unless they're like an industrial miner, I think most home miners, like they tweak their cards so that they're not killing them. Obviously, that can't be applied to every single person, but in general, I think people are aware of like undervolting, running lower temps. The fans might have been running at 100%, but it's only been, you said, used for about 4 months. I guess you can't even verify that. So you kind of have to go with your gut feeling on it. Plus, when you meet up with the person, do they seem like a sleazy person who's just trying to, you know, rip you off with a bad condition card? Or if they, you know, seem genuine. With the used deals, that's always going to be the case. There's nothing that can be verified versus like buying something brand new or from more reputable sellers like EVGA, even though we do have some stories of EVGA B-stock stuff coming dead on arrival, right? So just going used in general, there's that risk. I would personally pick up a 3060 for $300 right now. The prices are still expected to drop, but I haven't really seen many of them go for under 300 at this point. So we just got to work with the time we're in right now and not look to 1 to 2 months in the future, because that's kind of irrelevant if you're building right now. Hey, what's up, John Paul Bacon? Blue Fan says, I've never had a good graphics card adequate. I mean, right now is a great time to buy. Like I said, we're seeing 1070s go for like 180, cheaper if it's local. If you put in 1660, the nice thing about looking up the 1660 specifically is you get the supers and the TIs in there. But if we look here and we're sorting, yep, we're sorting correctly. You could also get a 1660 super for 185, though you're gonna get these like 1 fan cards for a bit. Oh, here's one for, nope, this is a non-super. This is 180. And then we got a 1660 wow. So where's all the supers and the TIs at? Here's a TI for 190 from Zotac. The TI, I believe, is the best one out of the 1660 non, and then the Super and the TI. This one leads the pack in performance. Japonya... or Japoye. Sorry, I butchered your name. Super chat at $1. Thank you very much. Yeah, so $190. I think this card could be good deal. Could be a good deal too, though. I think let's start looking locally here. We're gonna look at GTX 1660. This is in my area. Actually, we're gonna add shipping onto here just so that if anyone else is trying to buy something and need the shipping because it's not local to them, we'll find it. So the max we're gonna pay is $225 here. I'm gonna filter out by that, and the minimum is gonna be $125. So 1660s in general on OfferUp right now nationwide, or actually we'll look at local first. So we do have some stuff here. Yeah, see, $150 for 1660. That's not a bad price. And then we get into the shipping stuff. $200, $185, $150 for 1650. Nope. So nationwide prices are not as good as looking like. Oh, here's a 1660 Super in Atlanta for $150. Oh, this is so fake. My goodness, look at this. Remember, since basically September 2021, hit me up at this. This is a scam. Okay, so we're gonna keep looking. Kevin Ngo with the next Newegg find. We'll pin that one. Let's take a look at this Newegg deal. So this is for a 3070 Gigabyte Eagle. $50 off. So yeah, $600 down to $550. I think this is pretty much going to be as cheap as 3070s will get right now. So we look by lowest price for RTX 3070s. The cheapest, yep. So here's 580. So with the discount, 550. This is the cheapest 3070 you can get. I'm pretty sure online brand new. Amazon isn't gonna have a better 3070 than this. I'm confident. Though I would love to be proved wrong. I'm just probably not gonna be though. Oh my goodness, what is this? 3070, sort by lowest price, and it's gonna give me all this other garbage. Ooh, look at these loot boxes, these mystery box scam GPUs. Okay, the cheapest 3070 where I can find a price on it. Oh my goodness, why is Amazon so bad when it comes to graphics cards most of the time? So here's 530 for an EVGA one left in stock. Is this is sold by respec. It's used. Oh, someone's at the door. I think that's my package. Give me 1 second. I need to go grab that so it doesn't get swiped off my porch. I will be right back. Alright. Okay. Yeah, so Amazon, I mean, it's not looking good. So if you're looking for a 3070 right now, unless you go for used, you're not really gonna get better than this deal for 550. Let's see. Yeah, but looking back here, nationwide off-prop is not looking too good. $200 for the 1660 Super isn't bad, actually. But it's a one fan card. So everyone started talking to the chair. But okay, this is what got delivered. So I bought a new, wait, is my address on here? Let me make sure I don't dox myself. Okay, it's not. Alright, so I bought a new UPS from APC. So yeah, my other one died because I bought the other one used for really cheap. And then I ended up replacing the batteries. I should have just bought one of these brand new from the start. I was trying to save money buying a used UPS, which came with shop batteries. And if you know anything about batteries for UPSs, they're kind of expensive. It's cheaper than buying brand new, but they're really heavy. So, just like to buy them, it's expensive. But I put the new batteries in. It worked for, you know, however many videos you've seen me turn on a computer out of the back of my car. But now it just dies instantly. Like it doesn't hold a charge, and it just has like a prolonged loud beep, which everything I've seen online basically says the UPS is dead. So I bought a new one because I do need a UPS aside from operating out of the back of my car. I do need a UPS around the house anyways for when we do have, like, you know, the lights, the electricity goes down, and things like that. So I do have a use for a UPS aside from being able to test computer parts out of the back of my car with. So yeah, I'm excited about this. It was like 200-ish bucks, but hopefully I get a lot of use out of it so it pays itself off. Why not use the car battery? I could use the car battery, but honestly, when I'm sitting there talking to a person, testing the parts out for like 10, 15, 20 minutes, I'd rather not have to have the car be on the entire time, you know, with the alternator running. Now, if I run it off the battery without the car running, and I end up using so much power that my car battery dies, that also puts me in a weird situation, right? So I'd rather not have to rely on my car battery at all for running a system. So this one, it's 900 watts apparently, and no system I plug in will be 900 watts. So this should be plenty. to power a system for long enough anyways to test parts and all that. So yeah, Danny has a Yaris. It runs on AA cells. Yeah, my Yaris, I mean, the battery, it shouldn't be too different from like a standard like 4-door sedan, right? Did UPS deliver the UPS? No, they didn't. I was able to see the person as they were leaving. It was Amazon, where it was like a normal person in a normal car delivering it. So yeah, it's one of those things. Does anyone know how that works, by the way? When you buy something on Amazon and it's just like a non-Amazon or non-UPS or whatever employee delivering it, is that just people who take odd jobs to like do quick runs throughout the city, like a courier service? Camo says, would a 1080 Ti be good for a 2700X at 1080p or something else better? 1080 Ti and a, yeah, you could, I think, yeah, you can pair that fine. I guess, Camo, are you asking about the CPU or the GPU? You may be able to squeeze out more frames at 1080p if you had like a 5600X, but for the 1080 Ti, I think the pairing with that's fine. Oh, GPU? Yeah, that's plenty fine. The 1080 Ti can handle 1080p no problem at all. So yeah, you're good. Okay, so let's get back to this. Unfortunately, no good 1660s. Oh, let me ask you all this though. If you wanted to go AMD $200 or less, what are you thinking of right now? Because we know NVIDIA side, as we just saw, we have 1660s, we have 1070s. What does AMD have to offer? In my head, the only thing really is Vega 56, I think, which honestly, how popular were the Vega cards anyways, right? I don't know many people who had Vega 56s and Vega 64s, to be honest. It's either that or like the RX 590, which was kind of also a weird card. It was never as popular as the RX 580s and 480s. So yeah, on AMD side, if you had $200 and you don't want to waste your money on a 6500 XT and you want to get something used to maximize price to performance, what card are you thinking of in your head? Because I could only think of Vega 56, which when I looked up, like we're going to look up right here. Looking at Vega 56, in that price range, nothing comes up, even nationwide. So yeah, I'm pretty sure RX 590s are going to come up. RX 590s, we got 225, 189. Yeah, these are all more than what 1070s are going for. So these are not good deals. And we're trying to push to the like closer to the $200 value, right? Like, of course, 480s and 580s are going to be under 200. But I'm saying if you wanted like a 1070, 1660 competitor, what does AMD have in that same price range? It would be cards like this, but this is not. I don't think there's a reason to buy this when the NVIDIA cards are cheaper. And then again, AMD Vega. Like, let's remove this. Let's remove the upper limit of our search. Oh, we do have a Vega 56. Why did this not show up earlier? For $200, I don't know if I would buy this over a 1070, to be honest. And then we have all these stupid laptop deals. Then we have these eBay ones. So yeah, there's not much. $300 for a Vega 56 here? Like, are they smoking? 5600 XT. Let's take a look at that. 350. Yeah, we're not. Okay. Here's the issue with the last two generations of AMD cards. Or I guess last generation's more of. Look at these prices. 5600 XT, 350, 550, 550, 550, 450, 800. People are smoking some crack or something. Let's put a cap at $250 and see if we can even find anything. You can find one nationwide for under $250 in St. Louis. Or St. Louis, why did you say Louis? In St. Louis for... This looks like a scam. Maybe, I don't know. May 2022, nothing here. They have shipping available. I don't know. This is questionable, but also, I don't think this is worth it. People don't know that prices are down. They still think there's none on the market. Well, is that true? Apparently all the NVIDIA card sellers know that the prices are down, because anyone who was just selling a 1070 or a 1660 or the Super or Ti, all of those were priced accordingly. And then we go to AMD side, and all these people think that they're AMD cards, which are objectively not worth more than NVIDIA cards for multiple reasons. Yeah, they're pricing them higher. Not only do they get lower performance, they don't get the NVIDIA suite of nice things that you get. Encoder, RTX voice, for the cards that can support RTX voice. Things like that. Yeah, I feel the same way too, FT204. The RX 5000 series is kind of forgotten because they were so good at mining, and they kind of launched basically when the pandemic hit and mining got that second wave, that almost all the cards are in the hands of miners. I didn't know many people who actually got 5000 series cards in their systems, to be honest. And that's changing around with this current gen of like the 6600, 6600 XTs. Plenty of people are getting those for pretty good prices. But yeah, 5000 series was kind of cursed with everything that was going on in the world and in crypto. So it's unfortunate, but there's just nothing AMD wise that you can really find for this price range that we're looking for. Is $500 for a 3070 Founders Edition used for 6 months a good deal? I would say so. First of all, the Founders Edition cards, a lot of people like the look of them, and they're kind of hard to find. So that, and also coming in at $500, which is $50 cheaper than the lowest one that we can find on Newegg right now with the coupon code. Yeah, I'd say that's a good price. RX 6600 for $300 is best bang for buck. I would agree with that right now. Yeah. And sometimes the 6600 XT, when there's a good enough sale, that could be a good, compelling argument too. Drebler says, Danny, I sell you the 3060 for $100. Please just don't go AMD. Have y'all noticed? First of all, I gotta prove it. So this is the system, right? I'm still on the AMD system. You see, there's no card that has that Hellhound blue glow. So I still have the AMD, 6700 XT system going on here. There was no glitches this week in the stream. So whatever it was, I did recently update the driver, so that might have fixed it. But yeah, I mean, we haven't had weird problems with the glitchiness in the stream, right? So, Drebler, AMD is just as viable and priced better. The 5700 XTs go for around $200 on eBay. Do they? Let's just see what they go for on OfferUp. So we'll go up to $300 for this price. We got Dewback Slaps. What's the best TP for a system? No budget. Wait, what? What's Rorg? Dewback Slaps. I need more details than that. What do you mean? What? The best GPU for your system? What is your system? I could tell you, like, what I would max out at and not pay any more for. But yeah, we have someone's trying to trade a 1070 for a 3080 on OfferUp. I love looking at OfferUp because there's like sometimes some ridiculous stuff on here, but let's look at this. This was 10 months ago. They're trying to trade, they listed it for 150. Okay, maybe they're trying to put more money on top of it, but this is a weird ad. So for 5700 XT across all of OfferUp, if we're looking at $300 or less, we seriously only have 1, 2, 3 cards. 3 cards total. Let's look at eBay. So these are all going for a little bit more, but someone was saying that you could get a 5700 XT is actually pretty solid. But let's see how cheap we can get it for. That is the question. Parts only, pre-owned, 274 looks like the cheapest one. You could probably bid and get one for 250, but I don't really like dealing with bidding. And yeah, it's just kind of, it could waste your time if you are sitting on like a 1 week thing and then all of a sudden you don't win it at the end. So for buy it now though, it's looking like we can only find 275 with shipping, bringing it up to around 290. Okay. Jack Potter, lol, a guy local to me that I sold a PC with an RX 6600 and an i5 10400 is trying to scrape $1,500 for it shortly after I sold to him for 1K. So someone bought a PC from you and tried to flip it without doing anything to it, I'm guessing, and trying to rip somebody else off. Wow. I mean, you could build a 6600 10400 system for, I'm guessing you probably built it for like $850 or $900, right? Maybe even less if you got some pretty good deals. So you made some profit selling for 1K, and they're really trying to get 1,500 in this like climate we're in. We're able to build so many good like combinations of parts of a system for less than $1,000, and people are still out here trying to think they could sell $1,500 systems with kind of like mid to low mid parts in it. Not happening. But yeah. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got a link from Coalition Gaming. 5600 XT. Okay. We got 5600 XT for $200. Okay, free shipping to. Yep, seller looks legit. Let me bring this up. Sorry, gotta bring the browser back up. So yeah, this is $200. I need to honestly look at the GPU hierarchy because I don't remember the relative performance of that to like a 1070 or 1660 Super. All right, so we're looking at a 5600 XT, so that's gonna be right here. Oh wow, that is quite a bit above a 1070. So above a 2060 in 1080p performance, that is, right? This is from Tom's Hardware. I'll link this again. I mean, when you're looking at relative performance, you don't want to just use one source. We're looking at this for a quick reference, but to do deeper research, I would definitely go to YouTube, look at side-by-side gaming performance of like this versus the 1070 and like 2060, and then also look at other like crazy big benchmarking charts like from Gamers Nexus and like Hardware Unboxing stuff. But Tom's usually does a pretty good job placing all these relative to each other. I think they keep their benchmarks kind of up to date, but again, best to look on YouTube at two of the graphics cards you're interested in side by side, look at the actual benchmarks similar to what I post on my channel, and look at the performance that's going on. But okay, 5600 XT. I didn't remember this card being this good. You see, when we look at this product stack right here, from the 5500 XT to the 5600, I thought this was a little bit more down here. I didn't know it was that much higher with the smaller gap to the 5700. Like this gap, I didn't realize was this big. Assuming this is completely accurate. It may not be, but it does fall somewhere around here, and which is gonna be like a 1070 Ti. So for 205, this is a really good deal. So if anyone needs a graphics card for around $200, yeah, but I mean, of course, there's gonna be a huge performance difference between a 5600 XT, or it's not huge, but there's a pretty noticeable performance difference between a 5600 XT and a 6600. But this is 2/3 the price. It's a 33% discount. We're talking about $300 versus $200 here. So for $200, this is not bad at all. Because what else are you gonna get for $200? I guarantee you 2060s are not going for $200. Let's take a look. Actually, it's always interesting to see how much cards hold their value, but it's looking like 250 maybe. An RTX 2060. How cheap can we get this? Pre-owned, broken fan blade for $235. Yeah, look how stupid the value of these are. RTX 2060 for $240, $225 plus shipping, $235 with a broken fan. Otherwise, broken prices. So yeah, average prices of NVIDIA cards, unfortunately, unless you go back far enough, is pretty bad. Any viewer submissions? Yeah. So we could do some viewer submissions tonight. We did have quite a bit to do with the build as well as just looking at prices in general. If anyone wants to submit to Twitter, which the last couple of weeks we didn't have that many. So if y'all want to submit to Twitter right now, I will look at my notifications. Information on how to do so is in the description. Please list your YouTube name and then give as many details as possible. If you're showing off your build, please have pictures. Don't just like put a specs list and that's it. We want to see your build. We want to see pictures of your builds, your setups, etc. So yeah, submit over on Twitter right now as we move on to that section of stream. And then I'm just gonna hang out in chat for a bit, see what people have to say. You're right, I need to drink some water. I've not been drinking the water most of tonight. Okay. Jack Potter says, I just feel like upgrading. I plan on getting a 6900 XT and a 5900X. But if it's not worth changing my mobile, I'll upgrade at least my case first. What were your specs? EA asks, do anyone have experience with Zotac, RMA, or RMA in general? I'm sending my 3060s tomorrow. So Zotac, and I think Zotac and Gigabyte, both those, of all the companies, I've heard the most horror stories about when it comes to RMAs, returns, or customer service. Like, their products are fine when they work fine, which is most of the time, right? But when something goes wrong, I've heard it's kind of a pain to deal with their processes, like to get a replacement. That's both Zotac and Gigabyte. I mean, everyone has different experiences. I'm pretty sure some people have had great experiences with them, but in terms of just like my anecdotal data from what I've seen on social media, as well as like even in chats and videos and stuff, anytime I mention Zotac or Gigabyte, there's usually people who complain about their poor customer service. So, you know, take from that what you will. But Shane Eslick says for 175 to 200 AUD, you might get an RX 570 there. Oh, that's bad. Yeah, RX 570s here are starting to get to the like $100-ish price point, which is, you know, that's pre-pandemic prices. It should be lower, but what can you do? Ready to brawl. I don't think we're gonna have time to brawl Hollow tonight, Chris. So we actually got every night since basically the kitchen and the remodel has been finishing up. Me and Melissa have been going like to Home Depot, getting stuff that we need. We've been cleaning. We have to start unpacking soon, so I could probably only go for like maybe 2.5 hours tonight, but we gotta get through the Twitter stuff, and I don't think there's enough time to set up games, unfortunately. Grilling stream when? Okay, so I almost built the new grill for this stream today. What are people's thoughts of me building the new grill that I bought? It's a charbroiler grill. That's like the brand that Lowe's and Walmart has. It's a 4-burner grill with the side burner. I got it for like 160 bucks. What are your thoughts of me building that next week on stream? Just showing me, kind of like how when I built the racks and other stuff, just like showing me building a barbecue grill on stream. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. I almost did it this stream, but then this $400 to $500 PC build project came up. So then I said that will probably be a little bit more interesting. But I don't have anything planned for next week, so we could build a barbecue grill if people want. Let's see. Let's see. Dewback slaps. Red or green law? My system currently has a dual fan MSI RTX 2060, 12 gigabytes, Ryzen 5900X. You like a stronger GPU? Okay, you already have 5900X and everything else in your system looks solid. Dewback slaps. So, honestly, Team Red or Team Green? I'm enjoying my 6700 XT plenty. I game on it almost every single night. I stream. What is this? The second or third stream that we've had with it. Aside from the weird glitching last week, which I don't think was related to the graphics card. AMD has been fine for me. Unless you really want the ray tracing and stuff, then you know the answer. If you want the ray tracing, DLSS, unless you know, have compared it to FSR and are okay with that. But if you want the RTX voice, all that stuff, then NVIDIA is the way to go. But I'm just saying personally, I've been enjoying the 6700 XT as like kind of a power user because I stream with my PC. I don't just game with my PC. I stream with it. I edit in Premiere Pro. I do Photoshop, all that stuff. It's been working very well. How much did AMD... Dude, AMD hasn't paid me anything. But if NVIDIA wants to pay me to show NVIDIA, then sure, I'll show NVIDIA. But they haven't paid me anything. AMD hasn't paid me anything. So right now, you're getting an unbiased, neutral perspective. Can you check and let me know if any of the refurb PCs are a good deal? Yeah, maybe we could also pull that up as well. NZXT refurb. So we'll take a look at that as well. If you can build a PC, you could build a barbecue grill. So the only thing about some of these cheaper barbecue grills apparently is some of the tolerances aren't the best compared to if you buy like a higher end one. So like in terms of like, you know, when you put the legs on or like the main body or the shell, the screw alignment and things like that, it might not be the best. But I mean, come on, it's gonna cook my meat for 160 bucks. I'm not gonna complain. Okay, so it looks like there's some interest for building the grill on stream next week. I will get that all set up and the camera angles and stuff set up for that. But we're gonna go over to the Twitter side of things. We did get some submissions, but before we do that, someone did ask about NZXT refurbished builds, which can help everybody out here. And oh my goodness, what do we have here? We're gonna sort by lowest price. NZXT, I'm already zoomed in. Like, can you just increase your font size a little bit? All right, we got the starter base flow. They have a system here for $959. So you're getting an 11400F, a 3050, 16 gigs of RAM, 500 GB SSD, everything else pretty standard. Obviously, you could build a system and fit a better graphics card into this. I think you could fit a 3060 right now instead of this 3050 for about $1,000. So you would only be buying this PC if you don't want to build yourself and, you know, you're okay with paying like 150-ish bucks for someone else to build it for you, and you get a 2-year warranty with all of NZXT systems, even the refurbished ones. So yeah, so if you can build yourself, this is not going to be the best value. If you're looking for it to be built for you, there is some value here. Oh, especially since it's coming from a big company that is gonna, you know, take care of you, and they're not going away anytime soon. I think you could probably find cheaper pre-builts with these same specs from like Jawa or OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, but you don't get the customer support there, so up to you. Next up, we have a 3070 build with the 1070K, 1 terabyte for $1,300. Given that the 3070 is almost $600, we found the $550 one tonight, but this one for $1,220, I'd say this is a pretty good value just looking at the specs. I mean, you've got a big chunky PSU for upgradability down the line. I don't know what oh, they have a Z590, okay. Windows already. So this one, just looking, I think you could build yourself for cheaper as well. Not that much cheaper though, just because this is gonna eat up almost half of your cost. Then you're looking at like a, what, $200 something CPU, like a $100 motherboard, a $100-ish. I don't know what PSU this is. Depending on if it's probably an EVGA or even an NZXT one. But 1 terabyte, like, it's gonna be hard to beat the value. This one, I would say, if you aren't looking to build yourself, this is pretty good value right here. Then we're at the $1,500 price point now. It's really weird. NZXT be doing some weird stuff with their builds, because look at these two. So this one was $1,220 with the 3070, 1070K and stuff. So now we go up to almost $1,500. So this went up over $300. What do we get from it? We have the same case. We have the next generation, but it's not that much better. It's 11700 versus 10700. So you do get PCIe Gen 4. But aside from that, which honestly I don't think is worth that much of a premium over, you're still getting a 3070. You're getting another 16 gigabytes of RAM here, but we just saw how cheap RAM was on Amazon. You can get 16 gigabytes for like 60 bucks, 50 to 60 bucks. We got a super chat. Any benefits of SLI 2060, says Duback Slaps. Honestly, I've not been following like the SLI Crossfire like performance as of late in terms of it's even worth doing. I would say no. For the price of two 2060s, which we were just seeing go for 230, I think it's better just to go off in terms of like compatibility, less buggy experience, all that. Just sell both of those, get yourself as close as you can to a 3070. Yeah. But I mean, I've not tried to SLI those cards, and I haven't played with SLI much in general, just because it's not a thing that many people do or care about in this day and age. Especially, it's not just the fact that you have to have a motherboard that supports it, so you basically can't use ITX or micro ATX because they're not gonna have enough PCIe slots. Your power supply also has to support the two, so you have to have enough connectors, a high enough power supply, etc. It just doesn't seem worth it compared to a single card, like trouble-free solution. So yeah, that's my thoughts on SLI. But if you want to tinker around with it, sure, feel free, but don't go for it from like a yes, this is a viable, good price to performance approach. Okay, so for custom, yeah, for this build, you get a 650 watt power supply. The other one was 850. And this one is using a Z490 motherboard with the 11th gen, whereas this one had a 590 with a 10th gen. So NZXT is doing some weird stuff here. It does have a Kraken Next 63, so you do have an AIO. But between these two builds, I'm definitely going for this one and then putting in another 16 gigabytes I get from Amazon for a way cheaper build. But yeah, so that's what NZXT refurbished is looking like. Of like the cheaper, more affordable ones, I would say this 1220 build is the one to go for. But let's go over to the Twitter side of things where we got people's submissions and stuff going on. All right, we have Asian Dude in the chat. Let's see. Wait, is Asian Dude Kevin Ngo, or am I confusing that with somebody else? We got PC Part Picker. Last week finished a PC build for one of my niece, 910 for the whole build. So let's take a look at what Asian Dude. Oh, they actually posted here. So I'll post this in the chat in case anyone wants to if anyone wants to follow this, which we need to take a look at it before we can say if it's good or not. But let's see, 11400 for 170, a Zalman cooler for 44 bucks. Oh, and the way that they've done this build description is they've explained everything out, similar to what I would like do in a video, like why you would choose these things. But the build has I need to zoom in, but the way that this is laid out is kind of here. Can I put it here? And nope, it won't bring it up differently. Okay, so we have to look at it on the left side here. Okay, B560 motherboard. Why such a expensive motherboard? 150 for 11/10th gen. I think you could save some money here. We have, okay, Team Group, pretty standard RGB RAM right here. MP33 512 gigabyte SSD for 43 bucks. Yep, pretty standard. 4 terabyte hard drive for 60 bucks. That's standard as well. A Zotac 3060. And then a Deep Cool Mach-Cube. Everything else. Wow, a Cooler Master. So this only works out to 777, but it's because the graphics card price is not in there. So there could be some different deals that aren't bought through PC Part Picker on here, but overall it looks fine. Oh, okay, that is not you, Kevin Ngo. Asian Dude is in the chat. Got it. There you go. You paid way lower than current prices. Got it. Yeah, so for 910, under $1,000, if you're able to squeeze in like an i5 from a relatively new generation, as well as the 3060, that's gonna be very solid. So nice. This is for your niece, you said. She's gonna enjoy this PC very much. And you got the pictures. Look at that Zalman cooler. Oh my goodness, that is very aesthetic. You did the thing that so I prefer to usually run cables underneath. So either, I guess there's no holes right here directly where the graphics card is, but there should be some where the motherboard is. I usually run from there and curve them up, but you ran through the same slot as a 24 pin, which that's not my personal preference, but this still looks clean regardless. Let's take a look at some of the other pictures. I do like that blue/white. I think that's a white glow, right? Either that or an ice blue. Very nice looking build. Yeah, that that cooler looks super fat in this main chamber here. It is a very commanding cooler. Nice job, Asian dude, for the specs and the price. Thanks for sharing. Okay, next up we have Xturt. No streams, PC part picker list. Why is there 2 lists? Which build is better? You plan on getting a 6500 XT later. So you have 2 builds here. We have one that totals to 450, and we have one that totals to 472. Okay. So they're only $20 difference. Oh, so we're basically looking at either an i5 11th gen or i3 12th gen here. Everything else is probably going to be the same. 16 gigs of RAM, 500 SSD. Slightly different case, but they're both around the same price. And then a 550 watt power supply. Alright, so between the two, what would I choose? i5 11400, and you're going to be pairing with a 6500 XT. I'm going with the 12th gen, I think. I would go with the 12th gen because you're locking yourself in. Well, this one has a Z590. This is difficult. This is kind of difficult because this is an overclockable motherboard, so you could go 11700K, but you can find this for cheaper. So what I say is you find this for the 106 that we got on Amazon earlier, which brings it down another $20, and it makes it a more compelling case to go for the 12th gen. Has anyone been following anything regarding Intel 13th gen? Is there gonna be a 13th gen? And if so, is it gonna be the same? Is it gonna be compatible with the 12th gen motherboards? Yeah, that was my question. Because that's gonna also help with the answer. We got James KS says 12th gen no contest. Kevin Go 12th gen i3. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would personally lean for. I'm trying to see if there's anyone in chat who can come up with an argument for the Z590 and i5 11th gen. Because honestly, you're going with the 6500 XT, which please, if I could change your mind right now, do not get the 6500 XT. Go to eBay or look on your offer up, buy a 1660 Super or a Ti or a 1070, and you'll get better gaming performance. And I guess these are PCIe Gen 4, right? So you're not going to get the cut down performance, but still, even if it wasn't cut down performance, the 1070 performs better than the 6500 XT raw. So it doesn't matter about PCIe Gen 3 or Gen 4. I'm saying to go the i3 12100, in my opinion. Get a slightly cheaper one. We've seen it for cheaper. So do not spend $130 on this. And yeah, on this one right here, you're going to have to, if you're going to overclock using the 590, you're going to be spending more on a better cooler, because whatever you upgrade to, let's say an unlocked i7, you're not going to maybe, you don't get a stock cooler with an unlocked i7. So you got to spend at least probably around 40 to 100 bucks for a better cooler to overclock with this, which is more cost. I'm going to say i3 12100. Honestly, you could argue either way. I don't think there's any fault in choosing this 11th gen, but it's just between the two. I'm personally choosing 12th gen. Yeah, if you get this one and you can get this for cheaper, you could try to push a little bit more and get yourself a 6600 brand new for 300 bucks. That's what I would say to do. So Xturt, hopefully that helps out. But yeah, thanks for your submission. All right, we got Isha Boy here. There's no sound, so we got a dual monitor setup. Thank you for the video. I like seeing this. I don't think I can full screen this without. Yep, it's gonna mess you all up. So unfortunately, maybe I can zoom in more here. All right, so we got their setup. That looks like is that a Corsair 4000, maybe a 5000D? I can't tell by the size. And then they got their PS5 there. They got a white-ish setup going on with the case, it looks like, and their PS5 and the controller and all of that. Okay, here is their PC part picker list. They've got a 12600K ID cooler. I love this cooler for $20. Such value. B660, interesting. B660 motherboard with the 12600K. Why is... Man, this is a pretty expensive B660 board. 170? I could have sworn there are some Z690 boards that are around 170, if not like 180, 190. But they have a 3070 Ti. They do have a 4000D case. 850 watt Supernova. Okay, we got some Artec MX4. Very good thermal paste. That's what I use pretty much. Some Bits Power Nodos fans 3-pack for 39 bucks or 38 bucks. Team Group, what we got? 16 gigabytes of RAM. Pretty fat specs for having only 16. So I think it's because they included their monitors. That's why the price goes up to 1700 something. Otherwise it would be around a $1,500 build with pretty much a 3070 Ti and 12600K. Very solid build. Yeah, and your setup looks very nice. So I don't really have much to comment on here. Did you put storage? I don't know what you have for storage in terms of your SSD. With these specs, I hope you have a 1TB SSD in here. Please, like, remember, if you're over $1,000, 1TB SSD, no compromise. Get the MP33 for 80 bucks or whatever. Get that 1TB storage. Solid state storage. But yeah, your build looks very nice. Thanks for the submission. Alright, we got the best YouTube. Let's see. He probably found the best looking B660. Yeah, maybe. That was an Aorus board, so that's definitely usually not a budgety, low tier, low cost brand. So yeah, and that's fine. If you're building for aesthetics, feel free to spend extra money on the fans, on like a specific case, maybe the motherboard, because the motherboard does show a lot through the window, right? So feel free. Just be, just be aware that you're not getting the best price performance, and if you have the money to spend, go ahead. It's 7. Yeah, okay. So we gotta wrap up soon. How many more submissions? Oh, we don't have that many submissions. So let's get through these last ones real quick. The best YouTube. What is this? Sorry for saying this for the 4th time. Finally took your advice and fixed a lot of things, made it better. All right, we're gonna go through this quick because we've looked at the best YouTube's list like a million times by now. 12400F for 160, solid. Deep cool cooler. Look, see if you can find any reviews of this versus a $20 cooler. I don't know much about it, but looking at the heat pipes and the size of the heat sink, this isn't gonna perform too much different than the ID cooling one. So you could probably save some money here. If you're going for that deep cool aesthetic, feel free. But that's the first thing that I see. B660 motor Wi-Fi motherboard. Let's see. So this is a Wi-Fi one. There may be another Wi-Fi motherboard that you can shave 20 bucks off, but if not, then I mean this one has pretty good VRM cooling, even though it's not overclockable. That's fine. Team Group, 16 gigs of RAM. Yep, that's fine for 50 bucks. MP33 for 512. Yeah, for all these prices, a GTX 1060 you already have. Yeah, so in the near future, this 1060 is gonna be your first upgrade, because this 12400 is gonna way outperform this thing. But you already have it purchased, so that's fine. Montech Air case for 50 bucks. Supernova GA for $54 for this 550 watt. What is the GA again? I think you could, let me look at the 650. Let's look at what Amazon has this for. Amazon has this 650 watt, $60. Is there any used ones? They have used ones for 45 bucks. Yeah. Oh, this one's gold, but what's the Supernova in terms of the tier list? Supernova GA. Not tier list maker. Not the tier list maker. So we're gonna go GA. EVGA GA. So Supernova GAs are okay. That's a B tier, 550 watts. So it's up to you if you want to kind of quote unquote future proof yourself. They're both B tier. You can spend another $5 and get another 100 watts. So you're spending 10% more to get 20% extra, almost 20% more capability in terms of like if you want to run a more powerful graphics card in the future, which you probably will. Like I said again, you're gonna upgrade this 1060 when you start pushing towards the 1070 or the 3070s, 3080s range. You're gonna want you know, a bigger power supply, but for now this one works. Yeah, I mean, this build list looks solid. Otherwise, you could save some money on the motherboard and the cooler. But that's pretty much it. Thanks for the submission. Let's see. Nemus Dark, my template for a $500 build. So this is your template. Let's take a look at this. An i3 105 for 75 bucks. Okay, B560 for 60 bucks. Looking good so far. This very budget build. Silicon Power, this is the one we saw earlier. I think for 50 bucks, 16 gigabytes, pretty standard. Western Digital, yep, this is what we saw as well. 1070 from eBay, reputable seller, 186. Yeah, everything here is looking good. Here's a Corsair Carbide. The Carbide case, this is gonna be fine for the parts inside. Tinted glass, no ventilation in the front, but for these parts, it should be fine. It's a pretty good looking case in my opinion. But yeah, for 45 bucks, you're not really going to get anything cheaper than that. And then Thermaltake Smart Power Supply. Thermaltake Smarts. We're going to have to bring up that tier list again, because I think, if I remember correctly, remember, don't just, you look at the tier list for a quick reference, and then you go look at the in-depth reviews from multiple reviewers if you can. But Thermaltake Smart. Smart. BM2, what other smart ones are there? There's so many smart power supplies that, oh, that is the BM2. Okay, so Thermaltake Smart BM2 right here, got it. All right, so we're looking at a C tier power supply. You're looking at 550 watts. You're paying 45 bucks for it. I would say wait for the Asus stuff. This should be fine for the parts that are being used. But if you aren't buying right away and you have some time and the Asus Tough one comes back, the B550, and they usually go for 45, I think they've been really popular recently. So what Amazon does is when a lot of people buys a certain item or there's like a high amount of search results, sometimes like the price gets shifted up a little bit. So yeah, I would just wait for the price to come back down instead of buying this one if you want a free upgrade in a tier for the same price. But otherwise, this is a very solid looking list. Very similar to what I would have put together tonight had I not found the 3600. Did I message that person yet? I did. Sorry, just sold it. Are you kidding me? I'm not getting a 3600 for $70 anymore. The person sold it. Which I kind of figured would happen. Oh my. So, 1 second. We gotta interrupt the Twitter to see if I can find another 3600 for a similar price. I don't think we found, yeah, on eBay it's pretty bad. Parts only, pre-owned, 120 bucks. Yeah, I'm not paying that much. Can I look at Facebook Marketplace without logging in? Nope, I can't. So I'm gonna have to do this on my own time, I think. Oh, maybe I can. Buying. Browse Marketplace. Oh, don't make me log in. Why? Okay, so I'm going to have to find... yeah, there's no Ryzen processor that's going to be worth it. We took a look earlier. The only reason I went with this 3600 because it was the one deal on OfferUp that would have made this crazy. I'll probably keep the motherboard, but it looks like we're going Intel. We're going Intel. We're going 10100 for 65 bucks and some motherboard. I'll pick that up off of stream, but let's get back to the rest of the Twitter. So, all right, we got Alpha Mutts. All right, Alpha Mutt says build submission with my Samsung Odyssey G3 that I got from the marketplace for 30 bucks last week. Plywood on the wall. Oh, well, yeah, you submitted your setup last week. Okay, so you are following up on that. Plywood on the walls from old energy sucking single pane window. Got it. Makes sense. So thank you for, I like, you got this dock too for a quick, oh, is it starting to glitch out again on Twitter only for some reason? But you got your hard drive dock, and yeah, thanks for submitting your setup again. The lighting is a little bit different this time around. All right. We got another setup from Cozy Plat Tracer Chan. What is going on with my Twitter right now? I've got too many windows open. That's what's going on. Okay. Nerd on a budget. I recently upgraded to a 5600G and had a pretty good deal on a 1080 for 140 USD. That's a very good deal. So pretty happy with what I put together myself. All right. So the build is looking pretty solid. You got your horsey little pop, Funko Pop next to it, and then we've got Cozy Plat Tracer Chan. Then you've got your build with, what RAM is that? Is that Corsair LPX? But yeah, the build looks very solid. I don't know how much you spent overall, but that 1080 you picked up for 140, that's kind of a steal. That's a good deal on a 1070. So to get a step up in the card and still paying that price, you did a good job on that pickup. So very nice build. All right, what is this? Oh, here we go. Rick Astley, never gonna give you up. Ha! The ad saved me from getting rickrolled. What's up, Jason Whitmer, aka Drebler? Okay. Then we got Mr. Breadsticks, as well as the last one's gonna be John Gennaro. So we're gonna work through these pretty quickly because we gotta go pick up some floor vents from Home Depot. But Mr. Breadsticks. All right, we got specs. Phenom 2 X4 945. My goodness, this is kind of old, but I like it. I like the Phenoms. GTX 1066 gigabytes, 8 gigabytes of DDR2. Wait, I thought the Phenom 2, I thought these were DDR3. Huh. I would have to look into this, but apparently this is DDR2. Let's see. What is this? Oh. A GeForce 6100 MV2 mobile? Never even heard or seen that. Oh, okay, they are. You have an older... Yeah, this board. What is this? I've never seen this before. Rosewood Challenger case, bad Molex fans, EVGA 500BQ semi-modular, Hyper 212, 250 SATA SSD, 250 HDD, and then a 1TB from 2009. I wonder how much life that thing has left on it. A lot of hard drives... Like, if you buy refurbished and stuff, a lot of them on their stickers, they straight up say like 2009, 2010, 11 and stuff. But they work with no issues, and they come up clean on Crystal Disk Info. But yeah, so this is a very budget build, upgrading to the B560M 10100F. There we go. Similar to what I'm gonna have to get on Amazon because my 3600 deal fell through. And then a GTX 1650 Super. Wait, you have a 1060 already. To a 1650 Super, I wouldn't really consider that too much of an upgrade. Maybe like a slight side diagonal upgrade, but yeah, it's not huge. Give me 1 second. I need to respond to this person and say thank you for at least responding and not ignoring me, wasting my time. So, all right, here's your build. Cable manage. Okay, what case was this again? This is a Rosewood Challenger case. This is a pretty old one. We don't have much to go with except for the single picture. It looks, just by looking at this, given how many 5 1/4 and 3.5 inch bays there are in the front, as well as no power supply basement, this looks like a, I'm pretty sure it's a pretty old case. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's like not much room behind the motherboard tray to do cable management. So most of it has to sit in the main chamber, but you could still fit them in underneath here. But yeah, the upgrade's gonna be nice going from DDR2 to DDR4. That's a pretty big jump. And yeah, from the 945 to that 10100F is gonna be very solid. So you're gonna really enjoy your system. I would say the case might be due for an upgrade too, if you could afford it in the near future. You know, get something to show off your parts a little bit better. And I guess it looks like you do have like a DVD burner or something here, so maybe you need a case like this to support that. But thanks for the submission though. All right. Did someone remove their last submission? All right, this is the last one. Dwarven. Ooh, this is a clean build. Ryzen 7 3700X, Gigabyte B550 motherboard, 2060 super blower style, ID cooling 240mm AIO, 32 gigabytes of 3600 megahertz RAM, and the NZXT flow with the airflow. So this is a clean looking build, and we're glitching on Twitter again for some reason. Why? These ID cooling AIOs are so cheap. I think these went, so we saw the 360mm versions of these go on sale for 50 bucks. I think these were going to for like 30 or 40 bucks at one point in time. Maybe not the white ones, but ID Cooling was really trying to sell their stuff for super cheap to, I think, get that brand recognition out there. But yeah, this is, what graphics card is this? This is a 2060 blower. Yeah, I mean, this is a very clean build, and you got your kind of matching headphones on top. I like this a lot. Twitter is extra glitching out right now. It doesn't glitch off of stream. For some reason, it's just on stream, I think. Or no, it doesn't glitch on, I tested it using Google Chrome. So it is only Firefox. I tested that after last stream, so I'm going to have to change that up. We're just going to have to use Chrome, and I hope I don't dox myself. But, Dwarven, very clean build. Very solid specs. Thanks for submitting. Yeah, this is... Wow, we're just glitching there. This is the type of build people should aspire to. Clean as heck, as Mike1360 put it. Yes, I agree. Alright, that's going to be it. Let's spend the last... We're already at 7:21. We're going to spend the last 5 to 10 minutes just chilling in chat. We did quite a bit tonight, so you're going to be seeing the stuff that we did tonight in a future video. But undivided attention to the chat right now. What's going on, everybody? Not the blower style. I mean, yeah, I wouldn't prefer the blower style, but if it's between that and no graphics card, I'll take it. Dark Flash has a white 360mm AIO. What? The only thing about AIOs is when you go for these newer companies, even some of the company that's been around, they have problems with corrosion or just buildup in like the pump blocks and stuff like that. So if you go for some of these, yeah, like, so here's the one that I think they're talking about. Dark Flash. Ooh, it's got a cool mirror finish to it too. And it's RGB, 360mm. I mean, everything about this looks good specs wise. But I don't know how long Dark Flash has been making these for, and I don't know if this is based on like Asetek or something else. But you have to kind of be careful. It might be an issue long term. Yeah, like you could get very bad performance from it if it starts clogging up. So that's the only issue. But man, I would take the risk on this. It's $60. It probably has some kind of warranty. That would be a hassle to deal with, but if it ends out working out, 60 bucks for RGB 360mm is a hard deal to beat. Timmy T says, I just got the 360 ID cooling in today. Works really good for 52 bucks. Heck yeah, I agree with that sentiment. Heck yeah, indeed. Okay, Asteroid Blue says use Microsoft Edge. Maybe I should start using Microsoft Edge. I mean, it's Chromium based, right? So it's not that different. Plus, Firefox is slipping. I don't know what's up with the glitchiness with it, but alright, what else do we have here? Mr. Breadstick says your day is going good. Yeah, my day is going awesome right now. This was a very, in my opinion, successful stream. We had more viewers on this one than we had in the last few streams, and I know for a fact that it's algorithm based. So just some behind the scenes info. The channel, like I mentioned before, was kind of going sideways. Like, for whatever reason, people were, I know for a fact, not being shown my content, but just my viewership was down, along with a lot of other creators my size. And when that was down, I saw the stream viewership down as well. But since I posted the video reviewing Zach's video, or the PC build that Zach sold, since I posted that video, all the numbers have been trending upward. Watch time, monetization, subscribers, all of that has been kind of trending upwards. Not crazy, because if you look at the build reviewing Zach's build, that one doesn't have like crazy viewership. It has like, I don't know, 11 or 12,000 views right now. But it feels like I'm slowly working back into the algorithm, because like tonight's stream too, we were peaking at like 140 something viewers, and we've been above 100 viewers basically the entire time. So I guarantee you that is algorithm based, because I'm not doing anything different right now than I have been in the last several months. We've been doing very similar stuff. PC part picker, looking for prices on parts, helping people out on Twitter. I've changed nothing. So yeah, in terms of YouTube numbers, everything's looking pretty good right now. So I just want to thank everyone who is here for that, and people who have attended the stream and have been watching, you know, the content that I release every week. But yeah, Mr. Breadsticks is here because of notifications. Were you here every other week as well because of notifications? Because I know a lot, Drebler, for example, does not get my notifications when I go live, or when I post the schedule anyways. I need to, yeah, maybe I should put more hashtags on the streams. Honestly, there's not much information out about the hashtags. I have put hashtags on videos, but I've not seen any noticeable performance differences with hashtag and without, so yeah. Yeah, Mr. Breadsticks says, I haven't seen him recently, so, but you saw this stream's notification today, right? So that's what I'm talking about. Ever since I posted that newest video, everything has been trending upwards, and YouTube seems to be wanting to share my stuff more. On Zach's video, the CTR was like 8%, and it's still above 5 or 6% right now, which is, 8% is good. 5 or 6% is pretty standard. So for not having a ton of views, a lot of people are clicking on it based on when they see the thumbnail. So, I don't know. YouTube, again, always a roller coaster ride, but as long as you're enjoying it, you know, you just kind of have to keep pushing forward, and keep doing your thing. Yeah, Mike 13. Yeah, so a lot of people who are even channel members who have been following the channel for a long time, they don't even get the notifications. So something is up with that. If they don't get notifications when they know for a fact they're doing all the right things where they should be. So that is just the beast of YouTube, unfortunately. But YouTube talk aside, what else is going on? Kalu Wong. Do you think 1TB SSD prices will go on sale during Prime Day? Oh, when is Prime Day? Prime Day is something that is almost a meme now. Like, I don't know if anyone takes Amazon Prime Day seriously. Prime Day 2022. We're looking at, oh, it's in July, 12th to the 13th. Yeah, so Prime Day, honestly, do I think SSDs, you'll probably see SSD prices go down, I would say maybe 5 to 10% on like the popular brand stuff like Samsung. But I don't think the lowest cost SSDs are going to change that much. Like, I don't think there's going to be much under 75 bucks, which I think right now you can find some deals for $75 1TB. On Prime Day, the cheapest ones are going to stay as cheap as they are. It's just going to be like the more expensive Samsung Evos, the Corsairs, things like that. I think those will get a small discount, but I don't know if that justifies buying them over like the $75 1TB, if you're going for like budget builds, of course. So yeah, Prime Day, I mean, when was the first Amazon Prime Day? What year did they start doing Prime Day? 2015. So Prime Day has been around for coming up on 7 years now. If I remember correctly, the first year or two, it was actually pretty cool. But in the last like 2-3 years, Prime Day, people pretty much meme it, like of how bad the sales have been. And didn't they try to do like a Prime Week thing too, where it was like a whole week of sales? Which honestly, what is that even, right? So yeah, I wouldn't bank on Prime Day for any crazy good deals. Maybe some cases, maybe things that are not CPUs and GPUs. Everything else, maybe like 5 to 10% discounts. Kevin Go says, you watched the new gameplay videos for Street Fighter 6. I did not watch the gameplay stuff, but I did watch the launch thing. I was watching that with Drebler and a few other people during the PlayStation event. I don't know what that's called. Prime Day has lost its value. Yeah, Slick Deals is greater than Prime Day. Yep, agree. I agree with all those sentiments. Yeah, okay, great. Sorry you didn't get your tweet in on time. I actually do have to go right now. My wife is waiting on me. We gotta do both dinner and finish up like some house stuff. So, let's see. Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for this stream though. I want to thank everybody who was here. Thank you for all the people who are helping with the decision making and giving their opinions on the different parts we could have chosen for this $400 to $500 PC build. I'm gonna go order the rest of the parts in, and then hopefully in a few weeks we will see that video come to life. But this week's video should be a Craigslist ride along, assuming the seller pulls through and does not back down on the deal. But I hope you all have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend coming up. And yeah, thank you again to all the mods, to all the channel members, and just to all the people watching in general, keeping chat lit the entire time. But take care, stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the comments of the upcoming video as well as next week's stream, where we will be building the barbecue grill. So see y'all then. Bye bye.